Everybody, how we doing? How we doing? We back again. Bring my boy on. He said Mikey had to come on. Talk about these politics a little bit, local politics anyway. And before we get started, I got to give you the disclaimer because I know people be trying to say this and that. We are not endorsing any candidates or picking a side. We are simply having a conversation about strategy and thinking. So now that we got that out the way, how's everything been going, my brother Osyrus Bolly? What's going on, baby?
Yo, you know what I'm saying? Everything is good. Everything is how it's supposed to be. Man, we just working and doing what we need to do in this community. I appreciate, you know what I'm saying, the platform that y'all provide to talk about the issues because I'll say this first because this ain't no disclaimer, but I'll say this first. It ain't always about agreeing, you know what I'm saying,
Right.
but it's
Sure.
about having dialogue and
Right.
being able to talk to each other and not walk away and feel like we got enemies, especially in our community. When I say our community, I'm
Right.
talking about our community, Black people. And so, regardless if you look at this and feel a certain way, that four Black men are talking together, you know what I'm saying, we walking away, and it's never a situation where any of us can walk to each other and approach each other with a difference of opinion
Right.
and feel like we enemies. Now we not enemies, man. We can always come to an understanding or come to a point where we say, hey, we disagree on it, but we might be able to come back around and be on the same level, united and collectively can still build. So that's what it's all about. That's why I'm here to talk, you know what I'm saying? And I
Yeah.
appreciate y'all, you, Mike, John,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, my boy Peel, everybody, you know what I'm saying, sit here and allow me to come in and talk with y'all, you know?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. I said them on the podcast. Like, I trust you more than I trust these other dudes. What was it like 19 keys and these other dudes and stuff? They be
Yeah.
selling game. You know what I'm saying?
Nah,
I trust you
I ain't
more. So I
selling
said, you.
nothing.
I know, right? That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
I ain't
But you
selling
know
nothing,
the.
man.
That's what I'm saying. I told you been talking about this since eighth grade. I really used to talk about Ron McAdoo and them. I'm like, man, who is this dude talking about? You know what these dudes is. Then I see him.
Man,
Oh,
any
that's what he was talking about. Yeah.
They
anybody who
definitely
know me know that like I ain't new to this. You know what I'm saying? Like
Nah,
I
you're not.
always walk to my own beat. Can't nobody make me dance. You know what I'm saying? I literally have been this way, and even my parents look at me like, what started you like this? And I just, hey, look, that just in me. And so like I got an authentic love for the people. And then at the real, on the real, like I don't do no networking. All I do is relationship building. And so
Yeah.
I build relationships with people. So if you know me and you talk to me, you know that I don't come to you with nothing about no fakeness. I just come to you and talk to you like, you know what I'm saying? Like I want to know what's going on with you, just like you want to know what's going on with me, and we could build on something. That's what I'm all about.
yeah, I'll elaborate on that, like relationship building versus the term networking that's been thrown around.
Networking to me is a white supremacy concept. It's telling you that basically, like, okay, there are some things that you want to do to elevate yourself in this career, in this community, on a status level, or just on your journey to figuring out what you want to do in life. And so networking is trying to tell you these are the steps that you need to do to talk to people. Hand out your business card, give out your number, give out your email, have a couple of quick questions, some icebreakers or something to try to open up a conversation so you can figure out what somebody else is doing so you can slide your foot in the door. And that's what I'm not about.
So do
Relationship,
you
So,
think?
so you're
Go ahead.
talking about like networking is a formula or recipe to follow.
it's a
Uh,
white supremacy concept, format, and a formula because we think that we have to do that in order to gain a certain level of success and esteem, status. And to be honest with you, it's like really taught to us backwards
Mm.
because we
like
know
what can you do for
nepotism.
me? What I'm meeting you, but what can you do for me? How can you help me? How can I leapfrog from you instead
Nepotism.
of
Because
genuinely building a relationship?
yeah, and nepotism come before any type of networking. And so when we think about all the people who become CEOs, presidents, entrepreneurs, and who they're willing to pass the game on to, a lot of times it's built on a relationship, usually through the bloodline or the DNA, whatever. Or sometimes it's just about who you married to and who the offspring are. And so, like, they really showing you that relationships matter more than anything else, but they don't say relationships. They say it's networking. They say it's merit based. They say it's they pull themselves up by their bootstraps. And so, like, that's not true. But what we do know is that when people trust other people, when people work with people, when people prove themselves to other people, a lot of times that propels them to the position of being the next leader, the next CEO, the next president, the vice president, the next COO, all of that type of stuff. And so I say, if you build genuine relationships with people, you put yourself in a better position, but also not on some unauthentic type of stuff, but you put yourself in a position where you have the trust of the community as well. And so, like, do it in an authentic way. Don't do it because you expect something to come back to you. Do it because you want to know and understand. So you listen more than you willing to go talk. You go listen and sit in the room more. You know what I'm saying?
I
Hey,
think,
man, thanks for breaking that down for us.
yeah, I think that in the community we should have people that do different things. Kind of like it's like preparing our kids to go play like in a league that you never played in before. And you got to understand how the game is played, but
Mhm.
not everybody really, because it's not gonna be fair. It ain't gonna ever be fair. But everybody, we have advantages that they don't have, and they have advantages we don't have. But you got to know how to play with your advantages. You know what I'm saying? So um,
No, yeah,
definitely see
most
where you're coming
definitely.
from though, because I think that a lot of times, from what I'm seeing, is not being. I used to think that some of it is nepotism. It is, and some of it too is being qualified. Like just not from a point of trying to impress somebody, but just qualify so you have that individual skill. Because I always tell dudes, even when I work at, somebody got to be the 007 to go get the intel and bring it back to the community. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But breaking through that brick wall, it's gonna hurt a little bit. When you're the first one to break through that wall, it ain't gonna feel good. But you got to know that you breaking that wall for the people that's coming behind you. So yeah, for sure.
yeah. And you know what I'm saying? Like, there are certain things that you actually need
Oh, 100%.
the skill to do. You know what I'm saying? There are certain things that, like, it's not going to qualify you. For example, you know what I'm saying, before we started talking, like, you know what I'm saying, I've been talking about lawyering, and we talked about that before we turned on
Yeah,
this podcast,
for sure.
and how people had to go to school for 3 years to do that.
Hmm.
But that's in Arkansas.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so you need a bachelor's degree and you need your law school degree, and it's going to take you normally 7 years to do.
Yeah, 7 years. Yeah.
But in places like California, you don't need a bachelor's degree. So you can just go to law school, pass the bar, all of that, and then you are a lawyer. That's because to be a lawyer, it doesn't take some of the skills or the things that you need to know from your bachelor's degree to be an effective lawyer. And then on top of that, you can go to the courtroom and actually lawyer for yourself. And if
Yeah.
you know what you're doing,
Boy, about to
they don't
say, you
recommend
better
it.
know what you're doing. Yeah.
But if you know what you're doing, you can actually fight your case. Prime example is I have seen brothers go to prison and face life sentences. And they hit the law library and then they come out of this joint in 3, 4, 5 years.
Mm.
And so,
That's
like,
up.
it's all about researching and knowing what you need to do. It might not take a
Yeah.
degree. And then at the same time, I've seen people who are not in prison, who have been able to effectively talk about what's going on with them and in the court system,
Yeah.
and then be able to advocate for themselves. They don't recommend it, especially in federal instances, but I'm just saying, like, so you can learn what you need to know a lot of times without taking the route of an institution accepting you. So, yeah.
Yeah, what I'm saying is like, let's say me, I'm going to college and I go talk to, if I had like a place in Southwest and the kids coming after school and I teach them how to be efficient with their path. Whatever you do, you just need to be efficient. Whether it's a trade, whether it's anything, just be efficient at what you're doing. Because that's some people, they get degrees and it don't make sense. Like, you get a degree in, I don't know, you get a degree in something crazy. You're like, man, what the world is that? Like
They
gender
offering
studies. What is
all
gender
type of
studies? Like,
crazy degrees. Yeah.
yeah. Like, you need to go to school for STEM or something like that or something like say. With me, web development, I could take that. I could do a lot of stuff with web development, you know what I'm saying? A lot of the little weird, little different stuff. Like say, even if if I decide to go to law school, which I'm probably gonna do, I can almost make a website and keep all my notes on the website and have it digital. Where I don't even have to write everything down. I can do crazy stuff like that, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But if I went and got a degree that don't make sense, like, criminal justice or something, which is kind of like, it's a little bit kind of a weird degree. And I still haven't seen nobody
I
benefit from
agree
that
with you.
degree.
I
You know what
agree
I'm
with
saying?
you on that.
Yeah.
You know
That's
what
what I'm saying.
I'm
We
saying?
gotta teach our kids like early, like even with the stuff about politics. Now
Yeah.
giving kids how to play that politic game and tell them you got to keep your nose clean now when you're young. You got to keep it clean now, cause they gonna go back and try to find all kind of stuff when you go
And
into
even
politics.
that, it's all time back into what we started out talking about when John asked me about the difference between relationship
Mm-hmm.
building and
Mm-hmm.
networking.
Right.
You can go get that criminal justice degree, but if you really want to know what's going on in the criminal legal system,
Mm-hmm.
because I personally believe that the criminal justice system is not about justice. It's about who can prove something and who can't prove something.
Right.
Right.
So that's not justice. That is like all on who can talk
The best.
better versus the person who can't
100%.
talk for
Selling a dream.
themselves. And
Yeah,
so,
selling a
like,
dream. Who can sell the best dream? Sure.
exactly. So that ain't got nothing
Yeah.
to do with justice.
Mm.
The Department of Corrections is the Department of Incorrections because it's all
Right.
about who can say what's incorrect and what's correct.
Yeah.
So, like, I feel like if you gonna tell people about what they need to be doing, it's about really telling them the real deal
Yeah,
about, like,
exactly.
yeah,
That's why we make this podcast too. That's what we tell them. Like,
yeah,
working in IT, the things you're gonna face, not only just the degree, but the things you're gonna face. Like,
yeah,
you may be the only person, the only minority working in that company. I'm talking about it throughout the whole. I've been in that so many times. Like, the only male minority in this company. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
That's it.
And so,
You know what
what's
I'm
the
saying?
circumstances when you like that? How did you deal
Exactly.
with that? Where is the diversity and inclusion and the equity in those type of situations?
Right. And see,
When you're thinking about all of that,
yeah, it's a two-sided coin. Like it's a two-sided coin, right?
yeah,
One side of the coin, there's no diversity. You're the only person there. And then the second side of the coin is I've seen them be looking for people like me, but they don't be qualified. They just come in there with just a diploma. And sometimes they can, but you have to show them that you're willing to learn. And sometimes it just depends on how you talk. Like I was saying in the podcast before you came on, when me and Jay was talking, I was saying the best skill that can change your life is learning people skills, just learning how to talk to people that don't look like you, that's not like you. You know what I'm saying? That ain't an easy thing to do, but it's something that I learned. It changed my life, learning how to talk to people that ain't from Southwest. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. And
Even black people.
I can say,
Yeah.
that that's the truth because I've been blessed. I grew up in Southwest Little Rock,
Right.
predominantly black community.
Mm-hmm.
The next population or race is Hispanic when I grew up.
Right.
But I was blessed enough to go to an elementary school that taught and emphasizes a magnet school, foreign languages and international studies.
Right.
And so while the rest of my peers was on the block in the neighborhood at the age of 8 and 9 could communicate with the homies who was from South America or Latin America, I could, because I do the basics of speaking Spanish.
Right.
And then in middle school, like the same thing. But at the same time, you know, I'm black, so the people in the neighborhood, I know this language, and I know the vibe that we speak on too. So you know what I'm saying? It is about exposure. And so you want to expose your kids to as much as you can at an early age to diversify their interests. So they don't go and grow up.
What I thought about was the reason why I want to do that too is when we was younger, a lot of times when kids get out of school, the only thing they have about learning about something is at school. But what about like life stuff, like after school? That makes something like that where they can learn about life, not like just school, but like how to approach people, how to not get in people's business, just little stuff like that. 'Cause that stuff will get you killed, man. You know what I'm saying? Saying a person name, you know, getting in people's business, sometimes they can get you killed.
They're determined not to teach that in the schools, like the life skills. You know, they're not going to make that a part of the curriculum or the prerequisites to get your diploma. The life skills are what they determine to let them learn on their own. And that's messed up because, like, you know what I'm saying? You need to know how to, you know, manage your money. You need to know how to put a system together where you can pay your bills on time. You need to know how to be able to communicate with people from different backgrounds. In your workplace, you need to be able to appreciate all other cultures, all of that type of stuff. And there's no focus on that. They rather tell you that you need to learn some type of algebraic equation that you're not going to use 20, 30, 40 years later. And you still wondering, why was this required for me to get my diploma? So, yeah, we need to do that. We got to do that and take it upon ourselves to do that with our kids.
Well, you just took it out of my mouth, too. Take it up on ourselves,
Take it upon ourselves, because if they're not going to do it, then we can't depend on it.
So with that being said, like I'm noticing the difference too. Like my kids, both of them went to different junior highs and different high schools. And what one is learning, I was like, they did not teach that in your school at all. Like they got a class called web development at Central. I'm like, I ain't never heard of that.
Yeah, but that's what I'm majoring in right now. It's definitely a skill to learn, bro.
And with like when we stayed in Texas, man, what they do down there is totally different compared to Little Rock. I'm like, boy, we so far behind on everything.
Well, that's the thing, right? Like teaching kids to look at those kind of fields early, right? Because with web development, you know, he get an associate's in that and finish up his 4 year. I mean, he could be, you know, be making $60,000 in his 20s. You know what I'm saying? Probably before they're like 19, 20, be making like 60 grand. You know what I'm saying? And that's the access our kids, they don't know, because you don't know. I mean, when we was growing up, we didn't know we could make $60,000. That was like, what? What in the world? You know what I'm saying? But it's out there, though. You just got to know how to go get to it. And that's the thing you got to teach the kids, because if you, like I was telling my wife, if you teach kids, a set of kids how to run excavation stuff, how to drive a tractor, how to drive a bulldozer, how to drive a crane and all this, now you're raising up an excavation team. You send these kids to school in the summertime, whatever the age limit is for real estate, you send them to school after high school, real estate school. Now you got a real estate team plus excavation team. Other kids, they don't want to go to school, go do a trade. Now you got the trades that do the trades in between the building. Now you building an ecosystem, but that's our community don't. It's like trying to get them to really realize that, because I don't want my baby driving no bulldozer. That's dangerous. But dudes who drive bulldozers actually make money, though. You know what I'm saying? They making some great money. You know what I'm saying?
It started off with misinformation when we were children in schools. You know what I'm saying? They one of the things that was commonly brought up is you don't want to be that trash man,
right?
That's picking up trash, not knowing hey,
Right.
what the person that works on waste management earns,
Yeah.
Yeah.
not knowing the levels of going up in that company
Mm-hmm.
would earn
Right.
you the experience, not knowing the benefits,
Right.
all of that type of stuff. But they just say picking up trash
Right.
Right.
is a career that's unworthy for a person who's intellectual or whatever. Or that's the
Yeah,
way they
for
play
sure.
it at least. And then you see people when you grow up in those type of fields, in those type of jobs.
Right.
They don't make an emphasis on how important it is to learn the trade, because when people who are learning the trades and when the market is scarce, their salaries and their money they making is always going to be high because they're in a bigger demand.
Yeah.
And so, like, we, like I say, it's important that we diversify the interest with the youth.
Oh,
You know,
exactly. Yeah.
you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, you might learn with your hands better than you do reading this book.
Exactly.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? There's nothing wrong with learning a trade and not banking on that trade, but if you never need to fall back on that trade
Yeah.
in rough times, then you ain't never got to worry about getting evicted or
Right.
the mortgage not being paid or the car note not
Yeah.
being paid, all of that type of stuff. And so it's just little things like that, but we got to talk to our kids and let them know, because the reality is everybody's not going to go to college.
No,
Anybody
they're
that's
not.
been in college freshman seminar, they've been in that auditorium and they say, look to your left, look to your right. One of these people not going to be there with you when you finish this journey. They don't say that somebody going to transfer.
That's true.
They don't say somebody going to switch their major. They don't say that somebody going to find their way without the degree and become an entrepreneur. All they say is this person not going to be on a journey, so you assume they ain't not a success. And that's what the craziness lies in, the misinformation that we get. So we scare our kids into debt, thinking that they need the college when they're not ready for college. They haven't decided what they want to do.
And that's what I'm saying. I think if you really like get them after school, like let's say like 8th grade or something like that, start at 8th grade and just work with them, teach them how to make a strategy. Like, look, if you good with your hands, we're gonna talk about strategy. Like when you graduate high school, then this is your strategy after you graduate.
Yeah.
I don't know about you. I didn't have no strategy when I graduated. I think I probably wanted to be like a massage therapist, but then when I see how much it costs, I was like, nah, I'm good. I just started working after that. But a lot of kids they not sitting still to learn these things. They just when they get home from school, they either on the game or they kicking it. They just whatever they do, depending on where you live at. You know what I'm saying? They not sitting still long enough.
I didn't have
And that's
no
why,
strategy. I didn't have no strategy. I didn't have a lot of information to build my strategy too.
Yeah, for sure.
When I got out of high school, I was dreaming on some different
You and my boy.
world TV show type of stuff. Like I'm just gonna magically graduate from high school. Somebody gonna give me a scholarship because I'm so smart and I was an intelligent person, but my grades didn't reflect that. I was average with the GPA. I wasn't in the high percentage of my high school class.
Yeah.
I took the ACT once. I
ain't
fell
take-
asleep
ain't take
in the
none
middle of the
this.
ACT, literally. And then they took that score, and that was like, well, this man is not college material. But luckily, I had some great teachers at McClellan who told me, like, this is what you need to do. But I was like, I did what the youth call a gap year. I wasn't doing nothing but working. You know what I'm saying? And then I figured out, like, I need to go back to school. Got a scholarship, all that type of stuff. Now, the rest of the journey, I'm not even going to get into. But, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'll just let you know that, like, things didn't go to plan evil after that.
Right.
But it was important that I had certain experience to kind of show me which way I wanted to go in life. And had I just, like, put all my energy in one basket, you know what I'm saying, put all my eggs in one basket like that, then I probably would have never even did a lot of the things that I did. But I was determined to make something of myself, whether it was on an artistic level, on an intellectual level, on a level I worked to make myself a success. I was determined to do that, you know what I'm saying? And so I found my own path, but everybody's not lucky enough to do that, you know?
Yeah, because that's what I realized too. Because I know, like I say, we used to kick it right after high school too for years, but It's a difference between academic smart and life smart. It's a lot
Yeah,
of people we know that's academic smart but life smart.
yeah,
You couldn't put it together once you come and live real life. Cause some people go to college and they'll fly through it, be 4.0, cum laude, all that stuff. But then when it comes back to living life, you can't leverage that degree because you don't have the life skills to leverage it.
nah,
You know what I'm saying? You don't know how to do an interview. You don't know how to talk to strangers in this interview that you never met before. You're not
yeah.
comfortable enough. You know
Man,
what I'm saying? To
I've got
execute.
opportunities to go do some work and get paid for it,
Yeah.
and the people who got all the degrees looking like,
Mm-hmm. Right.
how did you get picked?
Right.
My walk is different than yours, you know what I'm saying? And so like,
Exactly.
you know
Totally
what I'm saying?
different.
So like you think that degree gonna save you, but it's not if you don't have any other thing that
It's
you
just a
acquire.
tool.
That's why they always say, like, while you getting that degree, go do some internships and do this type of stuff so you understand,
Right.
like, eventually this piece of paper is not going to save you. And then when you go to the interview, you find out that a lot of times they ain't even looking up that degree. They ain't
Yeah,
looking
it's
it
true.
up.
It's all about what you say in an interview. Like if you major in something, but you can't really articulate what you're doing, what you're majoring
You,
in,
you go
you
to
eliminate yourself right there. Yeah.
you go to an interview, they never ask you to bring a copy of your diploma and your degrees. You put it on your resume, and then if somebody is adamant about it, luckily down the line, maybe they might find it, or maybe unfortunately, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, so you
All
find
about
out real
game though.
quick that a lot of times them
Yeah.
degrees, they mean what they mean when you get them. When you start doing the work,
It's
they're
just
not
a
gonna hit
tool.
up your department to ask you like, how was he a student?
It's just a
They're gonna
tool
start
in the
looking at your work.
toolbox. Yeah, it's just a tool in the toolbox. That's all it is. Like more
It's just
tools to
one tool.
solve
It's just one
problems.
tool.
You just gotta
Exactly.
know how to solve the problem. Yeah, that's what I learned. Cause
Exactly.
you
Exactly.
know, now I go in the interview now. I actually, we won't even be talking about IT. You know how I know I swing the whole conversation. It won't even be talking about IT no more. We be sitting there talking about other
Man,
stuff.
that's when I
We talking
started
about Jerry
figuring out.
Seinfeld, huh?
That's when I started figuring out I was getting the job. When the conversation go off the job, start getting the
Yeah,
personal. Like I'm like, I got this job. You didn't start talking about your kids and other stuff. Okay, cool.
yeah,
Now we
yeah.
done built a relationship in this interview where I know, like, okay,
Boy,
you like
for
me
real.
beyond what the scope of the work is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
That's just real.
yeah, big facts right
So
there.
let me ask you this. I asked both of y'all this. When you think about dudes that when we all was 18, 17, 18, graduated high school, what do you think the degrees of separation, like when you start from, like, some people start at the same place and then as you start making decisions, it's like the positions, or not like somebody's winning, but your position change as far as like what you do, like as far as like some people excel, some people kind of stay steady, and some people
Mhm.
just veer off. Like, what do you think the difference is? It the, like, say, is it the exposure? Is it the person's willingness to the will of a person? What y'all think?
Um, Phil, you want to go first?
You got it. You got it. Um,
Okay. I, like I think it's a combination of both. You know what I'm saying? Man, shout out to McClellan. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah, 100%.
We
Yeah.
it was different.
we get dumped on.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna say the other word. We
Mm.
get dumped on a lot of times because people don't think that, like, you know, brilliance was happening behind the walls of McClellan or in the
Mm-hmm.
courtyards of McClellan. You
Yep.
know what I'm saying? And so, like, I think it was
Need to pull
just
it down.
really with a lot of people from McClellan, it was like McClellan had a lot of brilliance within those walls, whether it be through exposure, life experience, um, intellectual abilities,
Mm-hmm.
people that was behind you, rooting for you, that pushed
How to
you.
deal with people.
You know what I'm saying?
If you go,
Because, like,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like, I was just gonna be adamant about whatever I did in life because I felt like McClellan prepared me to do that.
Yeah.
That might
Yeah.
not have been reflected on the test scores, the
No.
report cards, and none of that stuff. But what I did know was like I couldn't walk up in there and act like I was timid. I couldn't walk in there and act like I didn't know who I was. You know what I'm saying? Like I grew up in a culture where you had to pick what you was gonna do and how you was gonna walk. And if somebody could easily influence you to be this one way, then you still might have been looked at that way, but you could have been looked at, oh man, he a do boy. Man, tell him to do this.
Even if you don't, they still gonna come at you because you don't do it. So it's like
and so
you gotta have tough skin either way. You gotta have tough skin
so
either way.
I automatically made it up in my mind in my 12, 13. I was like, somebody gonna have to really pressure me and find out and see what I'm about. And then we're gonna really see what the end circumstance gonna be.
Like for me,
you'll find out
a
lot of people just back off of you if you just say, man, I ain't with that. Leave me alone.
Dunbar was tougher for me than McClellan. McClellan was a breeze, but Dunbar was crazy, boy. Especially in seventh grade.
It's just what it is. Yeah. And so, like, in those formative years, I decided that I was going to be my own person.
Oh, 100%.
I'm like, man, I'm going to come to the school. I'm rocking a kufi. Who going to tell me something? I'm not cool?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If I come with the
it didn't help. It helped too. You was light skinned though. You know, girls like light skin. You know, you was still in style.
Nah, man. If I come to the school rocking the 10s, if I come to the school rocking the Reeboks, the 8-1s, I'm not following y'all codes. I'm doing what I want to. I ain't got to be most popular, most liked, or whatever. I'm cool with me and my people.
No, for sure.
Later on in life, we'll see how it all turns out.
Right.
You know, that's what made us click because we both was different in our own way. That's what made us.
You know what I'm saying? And so, like, when you make it up in your mind that you're cool with, not following the pack, not having to walk with everybody else, that's the cool thing to do. If I didn't want to do something, I just simply said, like, nah, man, it ain't for me.
Yeah.
Pressure me. All you want to. If I got mad at somebody, I'm not worried about, like, oh, if I.
But I did learn though, there are some.
This girl. It's going to be an issue. I'm not worried about that.
But see, I think Southwest was a little bit more wide open for that. But I think some neighborhoods, though, it's like some neighborhoods, you almost don't have a choice. Like back then, the East End, the Brick Jungle, all that. Like, you know, you in the Hanging
Southwest
Hills,
was different because of this one reason. And I'm grateful to grow up there. Because, like you mentioned, East End, South End, all these areas, the real West Side and not West Little Rock. It was very territorial in these areas.
Yeah.
And I had family in all of these areas. But Southwest was different because if you go back to the McClellan yearbooks from the 70s and the 80s and the early 90s, you will see a lot of European Americans in those books.
Yeah.
Oh, I used to work with a CEO. I used to work with a CEO with the McClellan because he said when I walked in the office, he said, "You're an 09er." I'm like, what are you talking about? The 49ers? He's like, "Oh, no, I'm saying you from you went to McClellan and you lived in Southwest. We used to call it 09ers because 72209, the zip code. So they called it 09.
But what opened up Southwest to a black population, to a Hispanic population, was when hood homes came through Southwest back in the day. And then you started seeing in the 90s, late 80s, 90s, early 2000s, people coming from the other areas trying to get away from, you know what I'm saying, what they thought would be gang violence and gang culture and get a nice home in Southwest from the looks of it. Hood homes, all of those government benefits. But then it was quickly found out that, like, you might have been moving from the East End, but you're moving right next to somebody who came out of a similar situation that you have no idea about.
Right.
So now we got the all mesh in, but now we got problems from this side of town, problems from that side of town, problems from this culture, problems from that culture, all of these things. And so we had to be able, that was a blessing too, because we had to learn how to blend in. You could walk from one block and there literally be we this over here, and then 3 blocks down the street, we this over here. Like, are y'all confused? What is going on? But it's just everybody in different areas, you know what I'm saying? And so, like, It was reflected in our schools. How do we have people that claim in the East End in the school, but you are 20 minutes away from the East End?
Yeah,
Literally.
exactly.
You know what
I
I'm
used to tell my
saying?
mom that like being able to go to McClellan and not get caught up in the madness.
Yeah.
That's one of the skills that could change your life. Learning how to be somewhere, but not get caught up in it.
Yeah.
You have to go through the pipe, but it's kind of like Shawshank Redemption. I said that on the podcast one time. Sometimes you got to slide through the pipe. The boo-boo gonna get on you, but when you get out of it, you just got to wipe it off and then
And
keep it
so
moving.
like
You know what I'm saying?
somebody like me, somebody like my peers, my friends, we walking in school like, man, I'm not fooling with that, or that. I'm just gonna be me. What are you gonna do? The whole school can't even be against me. So like I made my mind up about this in middle school, and then now I'm getting to high school. Man, I only got a few years left. What are you gonna try to pressure me into doing that I couldn't have been pressured in the last 3 years? Stop it.
I don't think it was even pressure for a lot of kids. I think some dudes just was fascinated with the lifestyle. I think for me, being able to my little brother dad Greg, being able to work with him because he used to be around a bunch of the hustlers and stuff in Southwest, it gave me that third person view of why I don't want to do it. The stuff that you don't know. Like a lot of kids at McClellan didn't know about the stories, about the backstories that you don't know if you're not around it. And that's what helped me like get that perspective. Like, nah, I don't want to live like that because it's too much overhead. It's just too much overhead living like that.
I mean, man, dibble and dabble with it with you when you're 12, 13, and you see that like in order to be successful on a street level, you have to have some type of ruthlessness to you.
You have to.
And so like
it's impossible.
even if you think about it and you try to dibble and dabble, it's like, do I really want to act like this in order to achieve this type of success? And then at the end of the day, it's no success that you can even put on your resume. It might street career might come up, but how long will that last? And then you watch your partners and homies and peers and family members and friends of family members that you watch their demise.
Yeah. Even with dating, you can't. Man, that's what I was trying to tell my homeboys. You dating, you out there in the game, you can't take them memories with you, man. You gotta leave it in the streets. Where is that? You can't talk about that stuff, man. You know what I'm saying?
But like just to go back on the original point, it was a preparation for like not being ashamed to walk your own path in life. And so if I'm grateful for anything from my high school years, I'm grateful for the fact that I learned to do that, because it was just like even on the level when it came to because that was definitely propped up when we talked about the intellectuals and the people who got the scholarships. Because there was some division with that.
Oh yeah. But McClellan, they like you say, they crap on McClellan, but on the cool, it was some good stuff in there.
Oh yeah, it was some awesome stuff in there. It's all about mindset, though. You know what I'm saying? It's really all about mindset, pretty much at the end of the day. It's all about a person's individual mindset. Huh?
Because we was like, the top business school for 5 years straight. Literally.
Yeah.
And we had courses in there you just didn't know about. Like, we had that finance class, man. I was like, dang, what is this? And they taught you stuff in there. But it was one of them classes that was hidden in the dark hallway. Dang, it's a whole nother world over here. I don't know if you remember that woman.
Who?
That used to be by Miss Stuckey now.
You talking about Miss Brown?
Was she blonde?
No, I know the blonde woman. No, I know the blonde woman. Yeah, I know. I know her. Yeah. Miss Neely. I think her name was Miss Neely because she was married to the security guard. I know you're talking about. We had a class. We had a class. I think that's when we really clicked up because we used to be class clowns at the same time. Yeah.
My
so
bad.
You ready for
I
the
don't know
curve?
what y'all talking about now.
No, he was talking about. He was saying McClellan was a top business school. People really didn't know that. If you didn't know that, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, McClellan used to, and probably still was doing it into the end of it. Was killing those FBLA tournaments.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because there was all the business programs and the magnet skills you got to learn over there. But just to finish But just to finish my thought, where I think I was at, I was just saying that basically, like, all of the things that went on there basically helped us diversify our interests, help us to become our own selves, which I think is part of the thing that you want to do with high school students. You know what I'm saying? Even if you don't have a clear path to where you're going, you still feel comfortable exploring your options. And then I might have been a C student, but I got an A plus on feeling like I can explore my options graduating from a club. You know,
I think learning about life as an adult, like just becoming an adult, learning about life helped me more than anything. Like just understanding how life works. I think that was my thing. Like understanding, like dealing with women on an adult level, like working at a job. Now you, instead of going to college, work a job, and now you dealing with people on an adult level. Now you know what I'm saying. Not like you a kid no more. That was probably the what helped me out a lot. Like working at St. Vincent and. You know, you're not dealing with high school kids. You talking to grown women, and they're talking to you like they don't care about you being a kid. If you fit to play the game, you fit to play the game. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty crazy, but
yeah. And then
humor.
Even just like the work program, man, like having to be in a work program and having to maintain employment in order to keep a passing grade.
Couldn't stand Miss Baskins. She wouldn't even let me in there. Couldn't stand her, man.
Man, Miss Baskins, man, shout out to Miss Baskins. I hope I can talk to her one day. But just the opportunity to be in that program and then understand it, like, if you ain't got no job, you ain't gonna pass. That prepared my mind to be like, hey, if I ain't got no job, if I ain't making no money, I'm not gonna make it in life. Simple as that.
I was working in high school too. I think that working in high school was pretty crazy. Like I don't think I
I had
without a job in high school.
Man, I had dreams of playing on the basketball team, but Peel was there, so I couldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? I was not gonna be colder than him. And then realistically, if he wasn't there, I probably wasn't gonna be there either. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? But it's all about like, you love playing basketball, okay, well, that's going to be a weekend thing for you because Monday through Friday, that is not your gift. You're not scheduled for that. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all ready for the curveball question?
What's good?
Now we talking about high school. From 0 to 100%, how much does the average person know about politics? Like the average 9 to 5 person, what you think?
Talking about right now as an adult?
Yeah, right now, just the average person in Pulaski County, 0 to 100%. How much do they know about politics? Do you think?
Definitely less than 10%.
That sound about right.
Definitely
sound about right.
Low information.
When we was in high school, did our parents? My mom was working. She definitely didn't teach me about politics. I mean, you have to be taught it. Like I know Peel, he from a different breed. He come from a different cloth. But we talking about the average person. He like the 1%. Taught.
Like I remember my parents going to go vote straight up.
Yeah.
But we didn't talk about politics in the house. But then at the same time, I was doing political education for myself in high school.
Yeah.
Like in middle school, high school, I'm learning about who the leaders are. And they didn't even pressure me to do none of that type of stuff.
Right.
But like my grandfather, 33rd degree Mason, Eastern Star grandmother, my parents was active in the church, all the type of stuff. So I seen all these type of things. But we didn't have conversations.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So in high school, no, they didn't say like go ahead and go register to vote. The thing was to go register for the draft at 18.
No, not more so about voting. I'm just saying, like, when you seeing this stuff on TV, if you learn about it, you could filter some of the stuff out. But like, oh, they just doing this just to rile people emotion. This ain't that ain't real politics. That's what they allow on TV. But to really understand, like when you was telling us about a director, like, do people even know what city direct? Like the average person in Southwest, do they know what?
No, we didn't have those kind of questions in my household.
Exactly.
I might have been thinking about some of that stuff, but we didn't have those type of questions. And so, like, the average person like I said, is a low information voter or low information recipient.
Yeah, for sure.
I say a low information recipient because like you don't know what's going on in your city, in your town, in your state until your state, your city, your town decide to put some money behind what's going on in there.
Yep.
So
Because what I'm
usually when they
saying
want
is,
you to vote,
yeah. Because what I'm saying is like me working in IT, right?
yeah,
The average person that don't work in IT, they'll just think that I just fix computers. You see what I'm saying? And
exactly.
that's all they know. They'll say, "Oh man, you just fix computers." No, 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 no. It's a
The
whole nother
average
level because they
person don't
not
got
that
enough time to learn about that.
right. They haven't been on that side of the fence of IT to know that there's more layers of IT. Just like with politics, they'll say, politicians are corrupt and dirty. They don't realize that when you're in politics, you have to deal with everybody. You can't just go in there and say, "I'm gonna be clean and wholesome," and because you'll get isolated, then you ain't gonna be able to pass nothing. You know what I'm saying? But
Okay,
most people
so
don't.
so you talking about what does it take to be a politician? And you got to work with both sides of the aisle. You know what I'm saying? You got to work with the left and the right, both
Right,
sides of the
exactly.
aisle. Or you
Or you're
can
not
try
gonna
to
pass
stand in the
nothing.
center as much as you want to. But, you know what I'm saying? The reality is, people, like you mentioned, don't know that.
Right.
They think that like when you get up there, you can just shake up things like you want to do and do what you want to do, but you got a team of people to work with.
Right.
But that's why voting is so important. But
Right.
the campaign and the base building part of it is more important in those beginning stages because you got to get people to believe in you.
Right. And what I'm saying, people
Especially
do people can they differentiate when somebody running game or are they being genuine like do they like how many people really gonna read the policy or are they just looking at what's on TV like the stuff that's on social media like when she make a campaign, hey, I need you to give me $10 so we can make this happen, or are they really
yeah.
looking into the
And,
policy? You know what I mean?
and most
Like
people
that
ain't
kind of stuff.
most people don't got the time to read. That's why I'm glad
Yeah,
we talking.
exactly.
Most people ain't
Yeah,
got the time to read the policy. That's what I do.
exactly.
I'm going to
Right.
read the
Yeah.
policy, and then
Right. I
I'm going to
believe it.
read the 200 pages of the policy, and I'm going to break it down and put it to you in 2 pages,
Right.
or maybe even a Facebook status if I got enough time to do that.
Yeah, I eventually would
Because
like to do that. Make content to give people that to educate them on that kind of stuff. Because I think that's the mission. Like some people just don't. They don't have that little piece, but they're voting. But it's almost like old people say like stick with what you know. But people are voting, but they really don't know the full picture of what they're voting for. They
now they
just
don't know.
Yeah,
yeah, you know what I'm
Because
it lets you know too. People don't read. They don't read.
yeah,
saying? I'm trying to be nice, yeah.
because your platform, like for instance, like these right wing people, they gonna campaign real hard on we
Oh yeah, for sure.
are pro guns, we are
Mm-hmm.
anti-abortion,
Right.
we are pro Jesus. They gonna say like 3 things like that, and then that's gonna have the whole base
Mm-hmm.
engaged. Like that's who I'm gonna vote
Right.
for. They're not gonna say now. You know what else I'm gonna do? I'm gonna cut taxes
Right.
for the wealthy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna take away the taxes on the income state level, and then that's gonna affect your schools. What I
Mm-hmm.
also plan on doing is I'm gonna cut those SNAP benefits. I'm gonna cut those healthcare benefits, and I'm gonna give a whole lot of money to the police so they can keep on pulling you over, and they're gonna keep on being tax collectors and warrior cops. And you know what it's gonna do? Bring more money into the city out of your pocket. I'm gonna privatize those schools. I'm gonna take that tax money from those schools and put them into private schools. And so your local school system, you ain't gonna see no more McClellan, you ain't gonna see no more Cloverdale, you're gonna see no more Baseline. But what you'll start seeing is a whole bunch of private schools and charter schools who don't have the same guidelines popping up around you. I'm taking away your health care too. But I'm gonna do that in a way to where we're gonna say that we're gonna give you health care, but you gotta have certain stipulations to your health care.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
going to fill out job applications on a regular basis, You won't be able to smoke no marijuana. All of these different things. So yeah, but they're gonna say, I don't like abortion. Keep your guns. Jesus need to be in school. And if you're thinking about going to a private school, put your bid in.
Right.
And then you good. And then and Blue Lives Matter.
Right.
That's what they gonna say.
See, and what I'm saying too is like, if we could, when you have your own kind of thing where you bring kids in after school, and you have those kind of kids that's looking into politics or understanding these things, you teach them how to go get the capital, and then you also learn how people play the game on both sides. Like with the conservative people, like how do they do tax write-offs? How do they put money into a nonprofit to shell it so they can't get taxed to take away from their income? You know, you learn how to play the game, and but you're helping the community. You bringing in information and raising that capital for the community. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
so
I think sometimes.
I would just say you got to have some kids that's very interested in doing that.
I think it ain't gonna be a whole lot of kids, but I think every kid has different interests. But you gotta bring them in to capture it though, because they're not gonna do it at school because they just teaching them school stuff. But the after school,
that's why you start with them young. That's why you start with them young.
100%. Yeah.
Like the after school and the summer education.
Because every kid
I
not an athlete.
started at 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah, and every kid not an athlete. You know what I'm saying? That's
yeah. Because every kid is not an athlete.
You know what I'm saying?
Man, less than 1% of y'all are gonna go on to be professional athletes. That should be on every black teacher's dry erase board, chalkboard, whatever it is. Less than 1% of y'all are gonna even go on to even be professional athletes. But what you can do is this. And so, like, shout out to schools in Central Arkansas, like the McGraw Institute, with the African-centered base education, and that actually could tell Black African children what they need to do in order to help their communities succeed. Because we got the principles, but they're just not being taught in the schools. And so, like, we have to start designating and delegating tasks for our children early on to understand and see, like, this is what it takes to have a successful community,
right?
And an intentional community with family, to where we can all succeed if everybody do their part. And it's not a short-term plan; it's a long-term strategic plan.
And it takes capital. You got to teach them how to go get the capital too.
And so we got to have somebody that's going to go get that capital. We got to have not somebody. We got to have somebody go get that capital.
Team, yeah.
What that place that you're speaking about?
No, it's no longer in existence. But it started in the 80s and it ended in the 90s. The McGraw Institute, Dr. Patricia McGraw, came up with the whole curriculum and the idea of having the McGraw Institute with African-centered education for our students, and then did a whole K through 8. And then in her elder years, I'll send you an article. Check your Facebook message tonight, where she was able to teach these students about themselves and embracing African culture while they were Black Americans. At the same time, look at the students that came out of that school and what they went on to accomplish. Ryan D. Davis, which my boy Mike brought up earlier, student of the McGraw Institute. And now
what's up?
Executive Director of Children International. And now what he doing? Yeah. Teaching these kids. So we got to make sure we got people in place like that, because they're going to groom. Even though I know that's a bad word now in this era.
I know, right?
So I'm gonna switch the word from groom to develop the next world leaders.
Yeah. See, I want to do something like that in Southwest. That's what I'm in the
Let's do it.
Like that.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
All you got to do is you ain't gotta have 100 students. You start off with 6, 4, 5, whatever.
I know. Trying to find like a little building or something, man. Somewhere
Man, you ain't
to
gotta
sit
have
there,
a
let me do it.
building.
I'll do it
You can
there.
have a backyard. You can have a living room, whatever. Just start off right there. That's why people losing hope in Dr. Umar. You keep on saying you're gonna have a school. I'm not talking to you, but Dr.
Yeah, I
Umar
know what
keep
you're
on
saying.
talking about.
Yeah.
I'm gonna open up the school. Man,
Yeah.
but brother, we've been waiting for over 10 years for the school.
I think he got in over his head, man. I don't think he really understood
You shouldn't have
the
jumped on the
facilities and
DVD
stuff,
and
man.
start talking live like that. I'm
Yeah,
finna
he
open up
did.
the school. Hidden colors.
Yeah.
Man, you got the maximum exposure.
Yeah.
Why did you start talking about opening the school when you had no plan on getting the school open? And now you're just doing
Nigga just
speaking
learned it.
engagements and getting money.
Yeah.
I speak on that because I personally donated to the school. I met him in person. I got pictures. It's documented on social media. I put money in his hand. Open the
All right,
school
man. He gonna
up.
come get you. He gonna give you 3 lashes, man.
I don't care.
I'm messing with you.
I don't care, man. I don't got no fear. But
All right, man. Let's
yeah, but I'm just
educate the
saying,
people.
like the building might not be in place, but there are spaces that we can go into.
Yeah.
It's somebody, man, you know these black businesses in Arkansas, man. I mean Central Arkansas, man, restaurants. They shut down at 4:00. Ain't nobody serving dinner. That might be an after-school care program. These nonprofits, the same thing.
Yeah.
It's places that we can go in the community to do some teaching, and then we not taking nothing away from your business. We just literally saying, hey, can we bring, 10, 15 kids up in here?
Yeah.
Teach them something, It's a lot of businesses like that, but I'm just saying, like, you don't have to go big first and say, like, I need a school. No, you can just say, where's the space?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I went to BCD. I'm pretty sure you know what that is.
Yep.
Black community developers.
Yep. They still around.
Yeah. We went there after school sometimes.
Yeah. And then you get money from the city to run that. Right now, the city got a bid opportunity that's got to be in September.
Yeah.
For youth programs, and everything is pertaining to everything that we're talking about right now. A place for young males and young females to go that to prevent violence. A place for them to learn STEM careers, for professional development, for workforce readiness, for after-school tutoring and mentor, for athletics and exercising, for health opportunities. They're putting a bid in for all those things right now this month for the city of Little Rock, and they will pay you to do that with those students as long as you got a facilitator and and a staff that will do that until the cutoff date for those grants.
Okay.
Yeah. So city of Little Rock got it. I'll send you the flyer later, bro. I ain't gonna tell you no lies.
No, I'm gonna look at it, man. I just gotta see.
Yeah, and if you can't do it.
No. I just look at it so I can know what to do in the future, for sure.
Yeah, send it somebody who can do it.
Boy, this school schedule kicking my butt. I'm trying to get all this education after.
Exactly.
So when I get done,
And so let's get on that topic then.
What's that?
You said the school schedule was kicking your butt. Let's get on that topic about the city in those meetings.
Yeah. I know. That's what I'm saying. Like that's those
meetings, I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing. So I don't expect you to be at those city meetings.
No, but I'm saying, what do you think the disconnect with the average person that ain't going to school that ain't? What do you think the disconnect is? That's what I was trying to see. Like most people could come. There's some people that could come, but they not gonna come. And that's what's the why? Why they not coming? Especially
they don't understand the importance of it.
Yeah.
And so, like, I appreciate y'all for even bringing that up on the podcast. When I made that statement, a lot of people, to bring it back to what I'm talking about right now, real quick. When I made a statement on my Facebook status about, hey, y'all not coming to these city hall meetings. They using y'all tax money to do whatever they want to do, and y'all not there to speak up on it. I wasn't talking to the general public. And I appreciate y'all for bringing that up, because one of the things I always say with people is, look, the average person don't got time to go to a city hall meeting. If you got kids, if you got a 9 to 5, being there at 5:30 is not realistic for you.
Right.
And so that's something that the city needs to change. If you want to make this available for public comment and for community participation, let's find another time that's not within the work hours of the day to have these meetings. And I get it. A lot of them got jobs, and that's the time they can meet. But that's the reason why you started running for office, so you could be a voice for the people. So there's no excuses for any city director, for any mayor, city manager, blase, etc.
Sure. And that's why I made that video too about the website, so people that don't know, you can go to the website or you go to Facebook and add that to your page. Some people say, I don't know when it's like if you know how to use Facebook, I'm sure you can look up the city if you want to. You know what I'm saying?
But
instead of finding
but you probably brought it to their attention for the first time that they ever paid attention to, like, what's going on with the city. And I feel like the city and the state does that on purpose.
Oh,
you don't have to have meetings at 4:30 during the week.
Right.
Yeah, everybody getting off work. It's state job. The state job, they don't get off to like 4:30.
You don't have to have that meeting, and public comments got to be in by 5 o'clock. I got to rush over there in 30 minutes and fight through traffic just to comment.
And that's if you get off in time.
And that's if you get off in time.
Is it over there on 12th Street too? Where they at? Is it over there on 12th Street too?
Well, they switched it back to downtown now, which is even worse.
Yes.
Because if you got to drive on that Markham Street right in front of the Robson Auditorium and Broadway,
rough.
Hella traffic.
Yeah.
Hella traffic.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And so, well, let me speak on what I was saying with that status, because I think a lot of people was catching strays that didn't really even have to catch a stray. I was talking about like specifically my homeboys and my friends and my homegirls who sit there and basically tell me I got so much free time.
Yeah.
Right.
Man,
I'm gonna come there with you, Bolly. Man, I'm gonna go to the next one with you. I'm gonna go to the next one with you.
But I open up your Facebook and your Instagram. You fishing.
Hey, don't sit no strays at fishing. Don't sit no strays.
I know your life. You got 100% disability from the military. You do. You know what I'm saying?
Ain't doing nothing.
You ain't doing nothing. You are a stay-at-home parent. You're retired. You put your money, like, you the dude I wish I was talking to when I was in my early 20s, because you done put your money up and you started retiring by your 30s.
Yeah.
Your money been working for you this long. You know what I'm saying? I got a great number of friends who are in positions where they had what I call is life privilege, where they wake up, they don't got to clock in nowhere, they can go do what they want to do. They are the parents that go volunteer at the elementary school now. They're the people who I can go work out at 2 p.m. and be home by 4 p.m. and start cooking dinner. Women, men, all of these people. And I'm talking to y'all because when y'all sit there and say, I seen what you posted, did you share it?
Right.
Did you comment? Did you like it? But you constantly see it. So
Yeah.
those are the people that I was talking to, and they got misconstrued in the message when I said, don't pat me on the back. Y'all not coming through to talk about y'all tax dollars. My homeboy sat there and told me, I'm not worried about the tax dollars. I'm going to benefit off the tax dollars. But I feel what you're saying. And I said, thank you for telling me this information.
Man.
Because he know that Trump and the Republicans, as a veteran, he's going to be good regardless.
So he think.
Well, right now, he good because he got a job and he got them veteran benefits. So he know that he's going to be taken care of.
Man.
Where he is.
Have you been to the VA? Have you been to the VA? Man, it's
I've
always
been to the VA.
packed.
But I'm telling you, he wouldn't be saying it if he already feel like he was in a comfortable position.
Yeah. Right.
Because it ain't just happened with him.
Mm.
Yeah.
So he knows what's
sure.
going on. He good. House paid for. He good.
Yeah.
He ain't even married. He good.
Yeah.
And so, like, I'm talking to my homies who always, literally, my homies who always make an excuse about when they could be there, but they can't be there because they off having fun because they comfortable. But they know
Do
the
they let
plight
you?
of
Do they let
everyday
you bring
people.
cameras in there? They don't let you bring cameras in there, do they?
You can bring your camera up in there. If you got a phone, you can bring that up in there.
Live
You can bring
stream
your
that
camera in there.
That'll be tight. If I can get up that live stream.
You got them. You got them. You got that camera on your glasses.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can bring it up in there. But it's already streamed to the public anyway. So the only thing you're gonna catch was already available on YouTube. They just
Yeah.
don't
So
say
last
YouTube.
thing, because I know you probably got other stuff to do. I don't want to hold you too long. The last thing is city directors.
Yeah.
What do they do, like a city director, when you see these people like Ken Richardson, you know, Antoine, shout out to Antoine.
Ken Richardson
McClellan
ain't been
alumni.
to a city hall meeting since May.
Yeah, he don't even live in Southwest. You know, I know that, yeah.
No, I'm just saying
I know
he ain't been there since May because he been in the hospital recovering from surgeries.
Yeah.
So he hasn't been there since May, and they continue to put that out there. That's what I'm saying. I love how this white media always try to twist things.
Yeah.
I got a lot of respect for the Richardson family.
Yeah.
But Ken Richardson ain't been in no city board directors meeting since May because he been recovering from life-threatening health issues where he had surgery from, and he's still in the hospital.
But what do
he represents Southwest?
What do they do? Like, what does a director like? What is they typical like day to
They
day?
go to meetings, bro. That's what I'm saying. I could run for city board of directors. All of them got a job. None of them are just unless they retired. None of them have a job where they just because first off, that salary to be a director, it's not like a living wage salary.
Peanuts,
And then you're a part-time politician.
Wow.
You're not full-time. And so they literally go to meetings. Now, what they do is they get together and then they come up with things that the city needs to do, and they try to come together and speak for the community to make ordinances, policies, different things go through. But none of our city directors that is not their only job.
Oh, I see that, because I know Antoine a lawyer, right? He's an attorney, right?
He's a lawyer, he's an
worked for the
attorney.
bank.
We got directors that are bankers, nonprofit directors, doctors, all of this type of stuff.
So let me ask you this. Are they at a point of stability yet where the storm hit it? Because we ride by there every now and then. It's like they starting to rebuild a lot of the stuff over there, but it's still like it's still a little tough over there in that Breckenridge area.
But see that's they not concerned with that. City directors are not concerned with that because
I can see
that's federal relief that can come over there. When you say federal relief, you're talking about at the national level.
Okay.
And so,
I see what you're saying.
And so, like, they're worried about federal dollars coming to repair that. Or state money.
Not city
locally,
money.
They're not worried about that because if they were, we just had, like when I made the status about millions of dollars from the American Rescue Plan Act, which actually was for pandemic money to help repair the city. They could have put it towards that because the tornado put local people out of jobs and out of places to stay. But they decided not to use that money on that. It probably could have been the way that they wrote up the ARPA funds to go towards tornado relief, but they decided not to do that. What they decided to do instead of that was put it towards the police department.
Yeah, I want to do a podcast over it. I really want people to understand, like, when something like that happens, it's not easy. Like, you watch it on TV and they go to a commercial break and you come back, they didn't rebuild their house. It's not like that in real life. You know what I'm saying? Some of these people, man, it's probably gonna take them 5 or 10 years, man, to get back to, stability. Man,
it's like everybody who was affected by Hurricane Katrina. They was waiting on them FEMA funds to get rental assistance and then to build their houses back up or go find somewhere else to stay.
Right.
See, that's a national problem. It ain't just a local problem. So we got to go to the federal money. But when the things happen on a local level, we need to be able to figure out where the money's going to come from. Prime example: a month or so ago, a fire truck caught on fire.
Wow.
I don't know if it was because of the extreme heat or what, but the fire truck caught on fire. And this was stopping garbage and waste pickups in our local neighborhoods. And so they went to the city and said, hey, man, we need a new fire truck. But not only that, we got a couple of fire trucks that's like out of date. We need either new ones or we need some mechanical issues to come fix them up.
Yeah. I seen that article about the garbage trucks too. It cost a couple of garbage trucks caught on fire too. They got to buy some more garbage trucks too.
Okay, and so last week the city decided to get 5 new garbage trucks.
Man,
now, how much
was it about $200,000 a piece? How much did they cost?
All right,
probably so.
You close, but double it. $400,000.
$400,000, yeah. I can see that because of hydraulics and everything, yeah.
So 5 garbage trucks cost $2 million.
Yeah, $2 million. Where that come from? Yeah.
Now, but they said it needs 7, so we got to spend another $800,000 to get another 2 more. Now, when you watch that city meeting from when they decided that, they said, and I quote, "We got to cobble together some funds."
What?
We got to cobble together some funds. And then my whole thing is right here. We just literally watched over $6 million get thrown to the police department for signing bonuses, for new recruits, not for the senior center, but just getting thrown to public safety. So now you're talking about cobbling together $2 million and $800,000.
Yeah.
But we just watched almost $7 million just go towards signing bonuses for public safety officials, which are all.
So is it a term limit? Is it a term limit for city directors?
No.
Wow.
No, we got people in city director position that's been there since Tupac and Biggie died.
Wow, that's crazy. That's junior
So
high.
So think about it. So think about it. If I'm telling you that they was in office when Tupac and Biggie died, we talking about over 25 years for sure.
Yeah, that's
30
junior
years.
high. Yeah, that's junior high, like 8th grade, something like that, 7th, 8th grade.
So yeah, that's what's going on. So yeah, we need to get these people out of the office because they sitting there without term limits, and they just, you know what I'm saying, playing with our money, our tax.
One thing I've been learning about too is the commissioner of land. That's why I be playing around there when I was younger. Like I was talking about that one, tax lien land and stuff.
You know,
we got to try to talk to people about that, and some people don't want to know about.
We got to figure out a way to talk about all these positions and break it down to people understand it on the simplest level, because they say like the average person reads on a certain level, in an elementary level, basically. And so we
had to stand on one podcast. Then I think we had the average level. I think it was at like what? Oh, it was like 30 or 40%. It was something like, it was crazy though. Yeah.
So we got to figure out a way how you activate people. Talk to them on a level that they can understand and comprehend everything. We can't be, you know what I'm saying, like that man, like you go to a church, and one of the things somebody yell out when the pastor or the deacon is talking, say it plain, make it plain. They'll say it like that, and you don't think nothing about it because he already saying it like that, but it just makes so much sense to that person. It's just an affirmation on like, oh man, he didn't say it, so we're gonna understand it. Make it plain, say it plain on a policy and a political level, and then you will see how many people will get engaged. So stop hiring these lawyers to write your policy for you, or if they got to write it, make them use their skills for real. Say it on the intellectual collegiate level, and then say it on a level where a 3rd grader can understand it too. And then we'll see who really get involved when you start explaining what you're trying to do. Because then you'll start seeing who are you trying to mess over.
Right.
Right, exactly. Yeah. That's why
Make
Pierre
your
said I should
claim,
go to
stay
law
your
school. He
claim,
said
bro.
that's why Pierre said I should go to law school. He said I go to make it. My wife too. She said you
Go
making
to
great
law
claims, but
school
you
and then go to
making
law
funny too.
school so you can talk to them lawyers and then talk to them people who need a lawyer. And that's the best way you can do things, man. Be a bridge in the gap between all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Big
And you go
facts.
to the courtroom and do whatever you need to do, but then you got to come back to the community and be like, "Hey, this was going on." Shit.
That's what I'm
Hey,
saying. Yeah, somebody got to be 007 though. Somebody got to go get the intel though.
hey,
You know?
man, they said a spook sat by the door.
That's
Mm-hmm.
right.
They don't know nothing about that.
Man, that's that '70s brilliance right there, telling you what's
Yeah.
going on.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, so yeah, so I never, like I say, when I made that status, I was not talking about the mother who worked 3 jobs, the full-time
No.
parents, the
Yeah.
teachers, the coaches. I'm talking about the people who sit there and brag about all the free time they got, and then what are you doing
Yes.
productive with your time?
And that's what I'm saying. The average person that work at Walmart, they work 6 to 2,
Man, the
they
average
get
person
off
that
at
work at
2.
Walmart, go get your money. I'm talking
No,
about the person who
but
think
they
they're
should come
an
too.
influencer, who was looking for
Yeah.
something to
Yeah.
capture footage of, but then you find some fight video on Instagram to repost, or you are on
Man,
live
there
talking about
are.
nothing.
My thing is, if people can learn how to use Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, and they can put the city of Little Rock on their timeline, just hit like and follow. They do it with everything else. And I bet you if you look on a lot of people's timeline, I guarantee they got all this other stuff on there, but they don't want to put City of Little Rock on there. But they got people fighting,
Yeah,
little crazy
yeah.
memes and stuff, but they don't want to put the notification from the city on there. You know what I'm saying?
Man, I got a homegirl in Pine Bluff. Her name is Afro Angie. Go follow on TikTok. She's went viral just talking about the developments and the work that Pine Bluff is doing. And
That was up.
she like sitting on 6K over 6-figure followers. Just
Yeah.
about talking about the work that's going on in Pine Bluff. And a lot of people in Pine Bluff got a lot of things to complain about. But she's just talking about even the progression. So imagine her
Yeah.
doing that in Pine Bluff, what somebody could do with the same type of energy in Little Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, my homeboy, one of my homeboys told me, man, like what we get is a lot of people watch it, but they don't say nothing. And he
Yeah,
said a lot of the stuff that you talk about, it kind of touch people where they at, and they probably don't like to admit that or
they
talk about
read
that.
it.
Huh?
It's literally people who read it, who see it, and then they read your whole status,
Yeah.
don't like it, don't comment it, don't share it, and then but remember it because it's something that they really should know. And then now then the whole conversation turning, man, my algorithm jacked up. Man, you've been seeing this stuff.
Boy.
You've been bypassing to go like and comment on what you want to. And social media is there for entertainment. Don't get me wrong. The creation of social media was all for entertainment.
Yeah, but you can build a brand too. Like you can
Yeah,
use it for all kinds of
yeah,
things. It's just what you want to use it for. Yeah.
yeah. You can literally learn. I argue with people all the time who get the information off TikTok, and then I debunk it. Okay, you learn 60 minutes or something. Guess what? I done read 600 pages or something. You don't know what
Well,
you're
I'm
talking
saying it's dudes out here they can tell you where to find the IG model with, but if you ask them about the city, man, I don't want to look that up, man. You know
So
what I'm
we got
saying?
to
That's
do
what
a
I'm
better
saying.
job engaging them and figuring
Yeah.
out ways. But at the same time, stop coming to me. I don't do nothing for a pat on the back, and that's what
For
I wanted
sure.
people to understand.
For
You know
sure.
what I'm saying?
Same here. Same here.
With the information, like bro, like, and I'm not comparing myself to anybody. You know what I'm saying? In particular. But I'm just saying this is how I am. And the thing about it is to make people like really like truly understand why I do what I do. I do it because it's needed. I do it because it's right. And you know what I'm saying? Like if you got any type of like, if you like on a spiritual level, if you're a Christian or you're a follower of Christ, or any of that type of stuff, one of the biggest things I always say is like, you know what I'm saying, Jesus didn't do nothing for no accolades.
He
Jesus
didn't.
did what he did because it was the right thing. And so if you believe that you walk in a life that's Christ-like, think about the reasons why you do what you're doing. You're not doing it for no praise. You're not doing it for
Exactly,
no
for sure.
glory. You're not doing it for imperialism. You're not doing it for occupation. You're doing it because it's the right thing to do. And so
Right.
now we're looking at supposedly 2,000 years later. What are you doing it for? You're not doing it to get rich. You're not doing it for no outwardly love. You're not doing it to be publicly proclaimed and exalted as somebody who is just the person to listen to. You do it because it's the right thing to do.
Bro, that's
And
how I
that's
was thinking when I was younger, man. People can't even believe it. Like, man, I told one, I kicked it so much in high school. Like, it don't even, because I live by that same model. Man, I don't do this stuff to pass on the back. If I do something crazy, because I want to do it. It ain't because I'm
yeah.
trying to
And
impress
and,
people. It
and,
just
and
so
that's all
happened
I'm
it was
saying.
funny.
Like
Yeah.
if you see me doing it and you notice that
Yeah.
you ain't never supported it, you ain't got to come tell me you see. I'd rather not know that you saw it and not
Same
know it.
here.
Just like,
Yeah, for
bro,
real.
it's like somebody that watch your whole podcast and don't like it or share or comment on it. Man, please don't tell me you watched the whole hour and 30 minutes of this and then you didn't even just hit the like button or just say comment a good
Man.
podcast. And you do that on a regular basis. Like, chill out. I don't even need that. But then on you offering information that is there like gonna really piss me off. So just
Yeah.
do
But it's
what you
reaching people,
continue to
though. A
do.
lot of people, even Peel, man, he be keeping me on. He's like, man, it's bigger than what you think it is. He said it's reaching people, man. But I'm gonna keep making like it. To me, it wasn't about like going viral or nothing, because it's
Yeah,
just putting stuff out there for kids, people to think about. Like, you can develop yourself if you really want to. It's not.
man.
You just got to put in the work. It's a work that you got to put in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And I had to figure that out for myself.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
and he right on that because as a person, they didn't went viral quite a few times. It be the dumb stuff that go viral, but the stuff
Yeah,
that you want that you want
boy,
people to really look at
man.
man. I
Like
want
$36.
if me and Bill was cussing each other out, boy, I know it'll go viral. Boy, that stuff be going all over.
bro,
It be
man.
going crazy.
Everything that I've had that has gone viral has literally been a joke.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was just a joke I said or a joke that I
Yeah,
posted. I have
yeah,
had, or in one instance, it was some false information. And I had to backtrack. I'm like, man, this ain't even real. One time I
yeah.
posted something about some North Little Rock police officers buying sports cars. And then that was what went viral. And I was like, man, somebody didn't Photoshop
Oh
something. And I had to, but I
man.
didn't take it down. I said, hey, look, I apologize. I didn't fact check it, but that was the one time that something
Yeah.
went real.
I think the
Wow.
one I did, Mr. Okalai. I think that's the one that went viral. When I talk about Mr. Okalai, that went viral. I'm like, man, that's crazy.
Yeah. So like, but when you hit, then you know what I'm saying, that's when you know it's good. But yeah,
Yeah.
hey yo, that's what I wanted to clear up with everything. I'm
Oh,
like,
you
yo,
good, bro?
somebody like several people have come up to me at shows and everything in the last couple of weeks, and they basically just said, hey, I want to be there, but you know what I'm saying, I can't do it. My boy walk, I can't be, I mean, I'm full time. Hey, bro, I'm not talking to you. It
Right.
was a post. I
For
was
sure.
in my feelings at the moment, but I was thinking about a few select individuals. But at the
Yeah,
same
for sure.
time, I put it out there for everybody to see, and that's my fault. I could have really picked up the phone and said
I don't.
something.
You know what? I don't think it was a bad thing, to be honest with you. I think somebody got to bring awareness sometimes, and
Yeah,
sometimes people nobody wants to be shocked anymore. It's like everything wants to just move hunky dory, but sometimes, man, you just need that wake up call. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, and
I
that's
don't
what
know.
it was. It was literally like I'm telling y'all, well, this is what your tax money going to in Little
Yeah.
Rock. You know what I'm saying? It's your tax money. We are throwing away tax dollars and giving it to the police officers. And my speech was this right here. The police officers get $10,000 signing bonuses. They not offering that bonus to fire department, They're not offering that bonus to paramedics and EMT staffs. They're not offering that signing bonus to the coroners who show up when the body drop.
Yeah.
Literally, it's a short-term solution for people who want to sign up to be in the police. And then you don't got to pay it back if you in there for a year and then you just get
I thought it was
10,000.
3. I think it was 3.
No, it was 10,000.
Oh, okay.
It was 2,500 for 911 operators. They got signing bonuses too. But
I thought you had to be there
guarantee-
3 years before they want you. Don't have to pay it back.
Oh, okay, my bad. Okay,
Yeah.
well, yeah.
Cause they said somebody quit and they had to pay it back. They had to drop like 10 racks or something
Well,
like that.
hey, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
But even then, still, I'm thinking like still short term, because if you want to change the culture of your police department, it's not going to change within 3 years. And if I could
Especially
take
not with money.
10,000,
Especially not with money, anyway.
yeah, I take, you know what? Because the same thing happens with Teach for America.
Yeah.
Those people get out of college and they have that big college debt. Teach for America say, hey, we'll pay off your college debt if you teach in this rural town for 3 years or whatever. However many years, but it's less than 5 years.
Yeah.
2-3 years, they get their college debt paid off. They leave Marvel, Mariana, Dumas, El Dorado, Prescott, and then they're going to get them a job immediately in Atlanta, Philadelphia, Chicago, Dallas, whatever, because they just spend all this time in this rural town just to get rid of that debt. And so the $10,000 might take care of something, but it's not a long-term solution. And it's not going to change the culture of your department by giving officers $10 because you're still not getting the right candidate.
The corporate culture is just crazy, period. Like working for the state, they got you capped at a certain place, and if you don't move to another position, you won't get a raise. They'll lock you in at entry level, and you won't never get a raise. You'll get a bonus in the summer, but your salary won't increase. Man, that's crazy.
It's a reflection. It's a reflection.
If you don't transfer to a different department where the money's higher, you won't get a raise. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, bro.
And it's just a reflection. Your attitude and the way that you move, that's going to be a representative of the culture in your department because of your leadership. And so if you're willing to do those type of things to keep people from living a more comfortable life, the work environment is going to eventually end up being toxic.
Oh, yeah.
Because everybody can survive on that.
No, man.
You don't want to pay people.
There's people working jobs for the state making like $15,000 a year. That's their salary. That's ridiculous, man. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? What you gonna do with them, man?
Man, not pay rent and not put groceries in your refrigerator for sure. So,
But all right, man. Oh man, I ain't gonna hold you up, bro. Anytime you want to come on, man, just let us know, man. We need to make something, man.
I appreciate y'all brothers let me come through here and build with y'all. Let me know when the next time I come through. Hopefully, it ain't gonna be no status. But I definitely let y'all know.
Something, man. We gonna try to do something outside. That's when it cooled off too, man. So if you want to do something outside, like downtown or something,
holler at me when it cool off. I come.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When it cool off, they want to definitely. Yeah, for sure.
70-degree weather.
Yeah,
man. I'll sit outside with you and talk to you for 5-6 hours. For sure, man.
Well, guys, we ready to sign out. Thanks, Osyrus, for coming, man.
For sure. Appreciate y'all too, man.
Yeah, man. It is recording.